Hello and welcome back to the AuthorTube Writing Conference 2024. My name is Shelby of Marketing by Shelby, and I am so excited to chat with you all today about diversifying your income streams as an author. This is my second year doing the AuthorTube Writing Conference, so thank you so much to the founder and the hosts of the conference for having me back for another year. And let's go ahead and just dive straight into my presentation. Alrighty, I have my presentation pulled up here. We are going to be talking about diversifying your income streams as an author. Before we get started, really quickly, my name is Shelby Lee. If you haven't heard of me before, I run Marketing by Shelby, not only this YouTube channel, but also a company that empowers authors and creatives to market their work on social media. I have over 5,000 students in my courses, my programs, and my Creatives Content Club marketing membership. I write in the mental health space personally. My fourth poetry book is coming out later this fall. And over the years of promoting my poetry and my books on social media, I've grown an audience of more than 500,000, sold tens of thousands of books in a genre that I have been told many, many times would not be successful. I like proving people wrong, I guess. And I come from a background of social media management as well. So I took that experience and my experience of growing my own author brand to help other authors and creatives where I saw that there was a gap in the market of teaching authors that they can be themselves and it doesn't need to be a rush hustle experience to sell books on social media. And since we'll be talking about income streams today as well, I, at any given time, have 5 to 8 different income streams in my own author brand and business. So that is why I felt like I would be a good fit for talking with you about this topic today. So let's all get on the same page first. What do I mean by income stream? Kind of exactly as it sounds, but just a method of making money in your business is an income stream. Any form of income is an income stream. So your book royalties that you make from having your books published is one income stream. You might invest money, maybe in the bank, and those investments are an income stream. So we're going to be talking about different ways that you can diversify your income because I really believe in not having all of your eggs in one basket. The way that I felt comfortable being able to, for example, like whenever I left my corporate job, was knowing that I was not just relying on one stream of income, but that I had multiple different places that I was able to generate revenue. So that's what we'll be talking about today. And I also want to give the disclaimer that none of these are going to be like get rich quick ideas. I do not believe in that. Everything that I have built has taken years to start seeing real income from. And so I'm definitely not someone that teaches get rich quick. You are going to hopefully take notes or gather information from this and come up with ways that you can diversify your income. But all of them are going to take some effort to do. So nothing is instant or immediate. And I think everyone knows that, but I just like to put the disclaimer right now. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and dive straight into it with our agenda. So I'm going to be starting with strategies to increase the income streams from books that you've already have created. The easiest way to make more money is by optimizing the things that you already have. So we'll be talking about that. And then also strategies to add complementary income streams to your author business. And then there'll be time if you have any questions for me, I'll be in the chat answering your questions as well. All right, so like I said, the easiest route to increasing income is from products you already have created. So if you are an author who is about to publish your first book or you already have books published, this is a great strategy to just increase that income from those book royalties before you even start adding additional income streams. So, is there anything that you can do today to increase your income for the current books that you already have? So this would look like 1, optimizing your book description, your cover, your keywords. If you're publishing through Amazon, for example, you can edit your keywords, do keyword research, see how your book is coming up and ranking among others. Your book description and your cover are so key in people deciding to purchase. And so I teach marketing, right? I teach getting traffic from social media to your book listing page. And if you're sending traffic to that page, but it's not optimized, you don't have a well-written book description that gets people enticed and excited to read it, or you don't have a marketable cover that looks professional, you're going to miss out on sales. So before we start adding different income streams, especially with the first couple income streams that I'm going to talk about with you, we want to make sure that our book description and our cover and our keywords are optimized. So if you are noticing you are getting traffic, you know that people are clicking from social media or from your newsletter, and you're not getting the sales that you want, take a look at that first. The other thing could be pricing, right? Maybe so underpriced that people are like, oh, why is it so cheap? Maybe it's not good. Or so overpriced that it's just not within the current market rates. So be sure that your price is competitive. Look at other books in your genre. You can look at either indie published books, but also traditionally published books. See what books are selling really well and at what price point they're at. And maybe there's a change that needs to be made there. You can experiment with that as well. And then the third thing is, can you try marketing it in a new way? If you have a book out that is not selling like you would like, is there a different form of marketing that you can try? Social media marketing, paid Facebook ads, in-person events. Maybe you love speaking and want to go on podcasts. So those are, a few initial methods just to try to get additional income from things you've already created, because that work that you've put into it deserves to be seen. So that's my starting point. Let's dive into actually increasing the income from new income streams as well. So starting simple, we're still going to talk about the books that you already have published. Can we diversify the formats that you are offering? Maybe you just have paperback and Kindle. Is it possible that hardbacks are also popular in your genre, or perhaps audiobooks? Now, keep in mind with these, there's sometimes an expense. So you might find that producing an audiobook is going to be more expensive for you than what is worth it that you might sell, right? So I think it's really important to weigh the balance of that and determine if that is the best fit for you. But I'm here to present the options, right? So is it possible to diversify the formats you offer and make sure that you're offering the formats that your readers love? A lot of genres, it's very popular to, ebooks far surpass paperbacks, right? In my genre in poetry, paperbacks far surpass ebooks. People love a physical poetry book in their hand. That makes up 90% of my sales. And so if I didn't offer a paperback and I only offered ebooks thinking, well, every other genre seems like that's really popular, so I'm just going to offer ebooks and not worry about paperbacks, I could be missing out on so many sales. So make sure you're doing your research on your genre and offering those formats that would be most beneficial for your readers. All right, income stream number 2, similar, but a little bit different. I have a few tips for you on offering your books in a new or different way. So some examples of that are 1, offering a bundle of books. Maybe you find one that you have a book series and you want to sell them all in a bundle, or you have a few books that are similar genres, similar stories. Maybe they're not part of a series, but you find that a lot of people are buying 2 at once. And so you want to bundle them together and offer them together. These examples tend to work really well if you are selling direct, either on your website or in an Etsy store, something like that, versus Amazon that doesn't necessarily offer these options. So keep that in mind as well. But bundling books is an easy way to increase the average order revenue per order, because suddenly people are buying 2 or 3, maybe at a slight discount than if they were to buy them all 3 separately on Amazon. Signed copies, because sometimes people will buy more than one copy. Just like my last slide where we talked about different formats, some people are going to want both the paperback and the audiobook, or both the paperback and the ebook. Well, same here. If people really love your book, they might want, the regular edition that they bought last year, and now you come out with signed copies and they want a signed copy as well. I definitely have readers who buy either multiple formats or multiple different editions as well, or they want a signed copy of a book that they love. So can you offer signed copies? Can you offer gift wrapping? Maybe around the holidays, you sell a book bundle and then you charge a little bit extra for you to gift wrap it. Maybe they're signed books, so you're able to charge extra for each of these different tiers. And the last one is special editions. Maybe you offer a limited edition of a different cover and you do a small print run of them and you charge a little bit extra. I think with all of these, it's important to do market research and just ask your audience on social media or your email list, hey, which of these covers would you want a limited edition of? Or would you buy a signed copy for this much extra? Just before you go about maybe ordering special edition copies, or maybe you spray the edges of your book as a special edition. Before you do that, ask your audience what they would most like to see. But these are some fun ways that you can offer, again, the book that you've already created, the product that you've already created in a new or different way. Okay, let's move to income stream number 3. This one is going to be about creating products or merch to accompany your books. So again, this works really well if you are selling direct, but you can always sell these separate as well. So I had an Etsy store for multiple years where I didn't really sell my books, alongside these products on my website, but I sold a bunch of merch on my Etsy shop. And there was journals, there was t-shirts, there was mugs, there were stickers with quotes from my book on them. Authors sell bookmarks oftentimes. And so is there anything complimentary that you can add that when people are checking out for your signed book bundle, that they can also add a journal and a pen, or they can add an accompanying bookmark to it that goes along with your book series? So thinking of different ways to, again, increase that average order revenue that you're getting per customer is a great way to add different income streams and, of course, add additional revenue to your business. This can also be complementary products if you are, for example, like in nonfiction, if your book teaches people how to get better sleep, maybe you also create an accompanying sleep tracker journal. And that makes so much sense for people to purchase them together. So you bundle those together. So just kind of think outside of the box, think about different ways that you could add products or something that complements the book that you've already created, something that your readers would want. And again, can't stress enough how it can be so beneficial to get your audience's thoughts on this. So you can ask them, which do you prefer? Which design do you prefer? What price point would you buy this at? Just to get a perspective on this before you go ahead and order inventory or spend time creating these things. Now, when it comes to resources for this, I think a lot of us as authors are probably familiar with print on demand because a lot of self-publishing, Ingram Spark, Amazon KDP is print on demand. Well, there's also options for print on demand merch as well. So there's a couple companies, actually there's a lot more than this, but I'll just name a couple that I'm familiar with and have used personally, Printful and Printify. I personally used Printful for many years, and I connected it to my Etsy shop. And I would design on Printful, or I used the Procreate app on my iPad, and I would design my little drawings or my products, upload them to Printful, and then it would sync with my Etsy shop. And so when someone would order from my Etsy shop, that Printful would create the product and ship it out for me. So it's very similar to when someone orders your book on Amazon and the work is done for you, and then you receive kind of the remaining royalties from that. So that's certainly an option. Or you can order your own inventory. Again, there's many places that do this as well. Vistaprint or Zazzle are a couple that come to mind, where you can design and then order them in bulk amounts to your home or wherever your office and ship them out whenever they're being ordered. And then for selling itself, Etsy, like I mentioned, is the good one. There's also Shopify, having a Shopify store. Squarespace also has a commerce platform on their website, or if you house your website on Squarespace. And there's many other options. So I think it's good to do your own research at what you are looking for in a platform to sell and deciding from there, or trying out different platforms and seeing what works best for you. But I personally thought that Etsy was pretty easy to use. However, they do take a substantial fee, in my opinion, per sale. And then since I was also using print on demand from Printful, I had to set my prices a little higher than I would have liked. So that's why I think it's really good to do research and kind of determine what works best for you. But if you're already shipping out books, signed books or book bundles, then you might find that it's worth it to order a small amount of this merch that you know you can sell through. That way you're not stuck with inventory that you can't sell. And trying out one of these platforms like Vistaprint or Zazzle for your different merch products. All right, let's keep chugging along here to income stream number 4. So let's leave products for a little bit and talk about other ways that you can make money with your writing. So I kind of lumped some of these together for income stream number 4 because they're kind of similar. Paid newsletters, guest writing on blogs or different news or media outlets, or having a paid community where you share behind the scenes or exclusive content with your audience. So some examples of this would be Substack, where you can have a paid newsletter. People can subscribe to your Substack for free, or there can be a paid tier where they get access to even more from your newsletter. So if you love writing and you want to make some income from your writing or offering something exclusive, that's a way to do that. Medium is another example of a media platform where blog posts and essays are very common, and you can make money from Medium as well. So they pay their writers. There's some certain levels that you have to hit before you can start making money on Medium. But I have made royalties. I still get tiny checks from them every single month because I haven't posted on there in a little bit. It wasn't something that I personally kept up with because I started some of these other income streams. However, if that's something that you want to focus on, it's honestly decent money per blog post or per essay, depending on how much traction you get. And you do have to work to promote those articles and all of that. However, I think that that's a really good experience for things that you're already writing. If you're already writing blog posts or you like writing personal essays or something like that, repurposing that onto Medium is a great example of a way to increase your income streams. There's also things like your own membership platform. So I have a couple different memberships in my business. The Creatives Content Club is one that I started for creatives and helping them with their marketing, but you can also do things like Patreon. A lot of writers have a Patreon or some sort of subscription platform where their readers can pay for access to certain things. Maybe it's behind the scenes of your upcoming books. They're the first to see the book cover or hear about your new releases, or maybe you do private workshops with just them, and so they get to chat with you and ask you questions and all of that. Instagram has its own subscription platform model on there. It's a little bit less intuitive, I guess. You don't really get to control and create a sales page for your subscription. It's you're just at the mercy of what Instagram shows your audience, but you can create a low-cost subscription tier where certain posts and messages can be shown to just people who are paying for them. So that's another opportunity if your audience would be interested in that. Again, can't express it enough. Ask your audience what they want from you. Find out what they would actually be willing to put a few dollars in per month to find out from you, versus you kind of creating all of this and then finding out that, well, this isn't actually something my audience wants. So ask your audience, ask them on social media. I love using Instagram story polls for this and just getting people's feedback. And then the other thing is that you can get paid to write guest blog or guest articles. So a lot of blog or media outlets and more popular newspapers and things like that, online journals, do pay. Sometimes they're small amounts, sometimes they're a little bit bigger amounts. So do your research on this. Look at your own, start with maybe local media, or Huffington Post, you can do opinion articles. There's lots of different places where you can kind of write opinion essays and things like that. And so you can try looking up their submission guidelines and pitching to them. And that's not only possibly an opportunity for an income stream, but also a great marketing opportunity for you to get your work out there through that type of media. So that's another one that I wanted to mention for you as well. All right, let's keep going here with income stream number 5, which is going to be affiliate income and brand partnerships. So Some resources for this are going to be the Amazon affiliate program. You can sign up with the Amazon account that you already have and start earning by basically you'll get like affiliate links for any product that you would want to promote to your audience on your email list, for example, on your website. So you would get an affiliate link. You always want to give a disclaimer that this is an affiliate link. That's very important. To say that you're an affiliate. And basically how it works is you share that link with someone, and whenever they purchase from you through that link, you earn a small commission. And there are many, many companies that have affiliate programs. So not just Amazon, which is obviously a big one because lots of people shop on Amazon. But I recommend researching brands that you already love, going to their website and seeing if you can find an affiliate program, because a lot of larger companies will already have them set up. And that way you don't have to like contact them. You can just apply or make your account, and then you're an affiliate and you'll start earning commission whenever you share it with your audience. So over the years, I am still an Amazon affiliate, so I'll use that when promoting books or products that I like on Amazon with my audience. But there was a time that I bought like a Bluetooth keyboard, kind of looked like a typewriter, that I absolutely loved. And I loved the product, so I was able to promote it because I already had a passion for it and people could see pictures of mine and all of that. So I joined their affiliate program and promoted that product to make income. So there's lots of different ways. Just look at your softwares that you use as a writer. Look at the products that you use to maybe create your books, or the journals that you love, or the laptop that you love. It doesn't have to be just writing related either, but we want to kind of keep it focused on your niche, your brand. That way you're kind of not confusing your audience by talking about all these random different things. So I try to keep that aligned with my audience as well. But that's a really great way to make some affiliate income. The other opportunity here would be brand partnerships. So if you don't need to have a huge audience for this, but sometimes you can get deals with brands to talk about them to your audience. And so with like YouTube, for example, with my audience, I'm able to pitch brands and ask them if I can talk about their product on my YouTube platform or to my email list or on social media in exchange for payment or some sort of commission for talking about them. And so sometimes these opportunities will come to you the larger your audience grows. Other times you can pitch brands as well that you love. So if there's a brand that you love and you feel like would be a really good fit for your audience, ask them. Just might as well try, shoot your shot and see what happens. Tell them about your audience size, tell them about who your audience is and why you think that your audience would be a good fit for them and why you love their product, and kind of go from there and see how it goes. This is something that takes a little bit more experience. And again, you don't need a huge audience, but you do need somewhat of an audience. I would say micro influencer kind of niche is like 1,000 to 5,000 followers. And so once you're at that range, if there is a brand that you want to try, give it a shot and see what happens. The one caveat that I'll say with this particular income stream is that for me, my brand and my audience, I always want to have my products at the forefront. And so I never want to suddenly start promoting a bunch of other people's products or be an affiliate for a bunch of other brands or products and have them kind of forget about my own, right? So I think that's important too, is like having that trust with your audience that you're going to only promote things that you really believe in and love, but also that you want to make sure that your books that you've worked so hard on are the main thing that people think of whenever they think of you and your author brand and buying from you. So I don't like to do this all the time or very often, but whenever it feels natural to promote something else, I will. So I just wanted to share that perspective as well. All right. Similarly, kind of to the last one, but income stream number 6 is going to be speaking income. Now, again, this is another one that takes a little bit more experience, a little bit more time to grow, to build, but you can get paid to speak on topics that you're knowledgeable about. And this takes time to build. You might take on free events, free speaking before you are able to start charging for it, because now you have that experience. You can say, well, I got, people from my audience to come to this event, or I spoke at this and this conference or this book fair, and, people loved it, had a really great feedback. And so then you can start kind of charging money for that. But I recommend just researching local conferences too. This works really well if you're also like nonfiction author, you have an expertise in something in particular and can, use that expertise to get paid speaking opportunities. But book fairs, not as common. They are paid, but I think it's worth looking into. It's also a marketing opportunity to sell your books anyway. And just try to start locally and build connections with other speakers in your area. LinkedIn is a great platform for this as well, but also like Facebook, looking at upcoming events in your area. And if all else fails, you can always host your own paid workshop. Whether you teach, a workshop on something in particular, you host a talk or a Q&A or a book reading, and you want to charge a small amount for it, that can be a good opportunity to try to get into speaking. And again, coming from that experience and saying, I hosted this, paid workshop for this many people or whatever it may be. And of course, that can be virtual or in person as well. But my first experience with that was offering paid poetry workshops where people would come pay me, and then virtually I would teach them a concept in poetry and we would write together. And so that fit really well with my niche and my brand. And then from there, as I started Marketing by Shelby, I was able to get, paid speaking opportunities to talk about marketing to other people's communities or at conferences and things like that. So it takes some time to build, but definitely possible. Okay, bear with me here. We're covering a lot. The last one that I want to talk with you about today is service offerings. And there's so many different ways you can do this, but I 100% believe that you should be offering a skill that you are good at, an expertise that you already have, or an experience that you have learned and that you love. So you could offer a service like video editing or maybe book editing, which of course, takes education. You have to be educated on editing and different editing styles, Chicago style, all of that. So not, advocating for people just jumping into something that they're not, already a professional in or have a skill in. But book writing, if you've written, a few books and have a specific method that you use to outline your books, maybe you teach that as well. Maybe you absolutely love the publishing process and want to help other authors publish. Maybe you're really good at book cover design and you help other authors with book cover design. It, of course, doesn't have to be directly related to books or authors or publishing, but these are ones that come to mind as well. And then also you can maybe, instead of offering like a one-to-one service or consulting or something like that, you can create a guide or a course on a certain topic or skill that you have and offer that. And maybe that's also bundled with something that you already sell on your website or on your Etsy shop. So think through some of the things that you are well versed in, that you might be an expert in or have a special skill in, and how can you offer a service or a product on that? All right. So I want to answer a couple of frequently asked questions that you might have as you're watching through this presentation. And then I'm happy to answer any other questions that have come through in the chat as well. The first one is, I just covered 7, but kind of more than 7, since some of them were kind of lumped in together in one category. So what should you start with? I think firstly, starting at the very beginning where we talked about how to increase your income with the products you already have is the easiest place to start. It might not be the most exciting, but optimizing your product description, your cover, maybe offering different formats of your book or signed copies or book bundles is a really great place to start because you already have a lot of the work done. Then I would start with anything that really jumped out to you and excited you the most. I think that it's important to not try to add all of these all at once because that could be very overwhelming. And it's also hard to see results whenever you're stretched thin and not focused on one thing at a time. To kind of answer the second question as well, how many of these should I try? You can certainly try all of them, but I would space it out. Like I said in the beginning of this presentation, I've done all of these at this point, and now I focus on the ones that, 1, get me the most results, but 2, that I enjoy the most. So I ran an Etsy shop for multiple years. I loved it. I designed new stuff all the time, and then I kind of got burnt out on it, so I stopped offering that to focus on my marketing company and offering the courses and membership that I offer now. And that's my main focus alongside writing my new books. So I kind of focus on those as my main income streams now. So certainly try them. Try the ones that most excite you and would be most fun for you to give a try. And just know that, of course, it takes time. Like it has taken time to write and publish a book and start making sales of your book. These income streams are going to be the same way. Okay. Thank you so much for coming to this presentation. Thank you again to AuthorTube Writing Conference for having me. Please do hit subscribe to my channel if you want to make sure that you don't miss future videos. And I will be in the live chat ready to answer any questions that you have about this presentation. So feel free to ask away for the next 10 minutes or so. In the description of this video is an AuthorTube Writing Conference feedback survey. Please take the time to fill that out if you have a few moments. I'll also link my freebie. I have a mini content kit for you. It's for creatives, for authors with different social media templates and social media post ideas. And I'll also go ahead and link the Creatives Content Club waitlist for you. I'll actually be opening the waitlist very, very soon, like potentially tomorrow. So if you're interested in joining the club, definitely get your name on the waitlist because, like I said, very soon you'll get an invite to join us. And that is my marketing membership for creatives to get delivered monthly content packs every single month. There's marketing masterclasses. You get access to me to ask questions, as well as our private community. So, okay, thank you again. I'm going to get to your questions, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Some questions here, so I'm going to make sure I get these answered. So I saw, firstly, I love the conversation that was going on in the chat. I was trying to look and keep up with it a little bit, but Rod asked about monthly emails. We talked a little bit about getting subscribers in the chat. So thank you to those who shared all of your tips on lead magnets and everything for Rod. I just love seeing little tidbits of this conversation of Rod getting helped, but I'll throw in my 2 cents about growing, whether it's a paid newsletter or a free newsletter. Basically, whenever we have a newsletter, we are asking people for data in return. We're asking for their email address. And while that doesn't seem like a lot, it's not asking for money, it is still people's inbox, which people like to protect and not have a million different newsletters coming in. So we pick and choose based on what we know about the newsletter and what the benefits are to joining. So a lead magnet, like everyone discussed in the chat, is a great way to get people on your mailing list because it's an incentive to join. And that can be something like a free short story, a free book. It doesn't have to be. I think that's very common in fiction. For me in poetry, which is more nonfiction, I chose to create something complimentary, which is a poetry print of my most popular books. Whenever people sign up for my newsletter, they get a digital download free print, and that tends to be pretty popular for me. So you can also think outside of the box. It doesn't necessarily have to be a free book or something that you've written or a free chapter like others suggested. But definitely, I think readers expect that more in fiction genres as well. So I think that's something to be aware of as well. So great suggestions there. I do have a video on my YouTube channel as well about email newsletters for authors. So feel free to check that out. But anyways, I loved the conversation that was going on about how friendly and helpful the writing community is. I could not agree more. Okay, let me see. I think I answered your question, Helena, about what income types to pick first. So definitely go back through what I mentioned there about starting at the beginning with the products that you have already created, because that is going to be the most time savvy, the most efficient. You've already written a book and have it published, or maybe you're about to publish it. And so optimizing that, offering different versions of that would be the most time efficient for you as well. And then Rod asked a question about creating courses, which I think is a really great idea as well. And so someone else mentioned as well, one of our amazing moderators, thank you, Elaine, thank you, Andy, as well. Should you offer a course on this special editing method that you have? The first thing I recommend if you are looking to create a course is to make sure that other people have tried it out first before you package it up and put all the work into creating a course and then doesn't really buy or it doesn't really get results for people outside of you. So an example of that is the courses that I created on TikTok and Instagram. I did them myself. However, I made sure that other authors and other creatives could get results with them first before I started to sell them, just to make sure that it actually was something that other people could use and learn from. So I would recommend having some beta testers for your editing method where you can teach them see how they do with it and see if it gets them the results that you're looking for. And that will make it a little bit more effective when you do go to sell it. And of course, something to keep in mind is that it takes time as well to sell things and have to kind of show your knowledge on the topic. And with an audience, no matter what size it is, you're going to have to kind of sell yourself when it comes to your course. But I think if it's something that's aligned with the audience that you already have versus going off of a very different topic, so like this is aligned to the writing publishing world, so I think that that would be a good fit for you. Thanks so much, Amber. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, Angela. Yep, my freebie and my club waitlist is linked in the description as well. And thank you very much, Elaine, for promoting the club link as well. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. One more question. I think this is the last one. Do you think it would be worthwhile to create a second edition of my first book, 40 pages, 3 shorts? It depends on how is it selling? How is the first edition selling? Would you have an audience of people who would be ready to buy the second edition? A lot of times people that buy the special edition are people that have the first one. And so kind of weighing your options there, is it worth the time of creating a second edition? Or should you be focusing for right now on promoting the main edition first? And then once that one's built up more, you promote the second one. So that's up to you to decide kind of your time, your bandwidth, what you would like to focus on. Okay, I think that's everything. So thank you all so much again for being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. I know I'm going to be watching a lot of the amazing presentations that are going on today. Here's the next one that Elaine has posted in the chat as well. So have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the conference, and I will talk to you on YouTube. I post every single week. Bye.